dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the ball.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
11.
Back to Mixon on first down. He'll take this to the 46. The Bengals at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's taken down inside the 30. 47 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
11.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
11 MT, Tate. 11 MT.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Again, it's Mixon. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Whoa! 11 Thomas.
on 2nd and 9. Burrow. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Now it's Burrow. His pass caught at the 4. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Evan McPherson for the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Draw play. This is Henry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Derrick Henry all alone. Touchdown, Titans. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11.
Burrow will throw. And this one is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here we go, here we go.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon.
And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
11 MT paint. 11 MT paint. 12, 12, 12.
On 3rd down, Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive, it comes right back. He's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Hey, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 7-7, our score after 1.
One, ready?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Amani Hooker.
And the Titans will take over here at their own 12-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Okay, ready?
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
87 yards on the ground now for Henry. He's got a 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Ready? Ready?
A 1st down carry for Henry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You talking about tiny? You talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some...
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Jamar Chase,
37 yards.
and the Bengals have taken the lead.
And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's got a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's a tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd and 6. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion good for 6 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They go play action here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. He tried to do it himself, but couldn't find his way to the marker. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Again, it's Mixon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here we go.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Now on 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. And the Lions have opened it up, leading now by a couple of touchdowns. And we'll keep an eye on that one moving forward as we wrap up the first month of NFL football. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Well, let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
12.
Running left, it's Mixon. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
11.
Burrow looking to pass. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to him. And the ball comes loose.
Well, that ball was not for him, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
The fumble on first down now. Here's 2nd down.
Inside handoff, Henry. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
130 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he will have a Titans first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Again, it's Henry. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
With that last carry, he's now over 8,000 career rushing yards.
All right, big applause. Lots of clapping for this one, right? Think about it this way. Along the way, he has passed Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, and now he's starting to approach another Hall of Famer in Larry Zonka.
A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted.
And the Bengals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down. Instead, an interception happened, so a two-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second down, they go again with Henry.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Let's go now.
They'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
And an update from the other NFL stadium in Ohio. That's up in Cleveland. The Browns, they have scored again to add on to their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
11 MTs, hey! 11, 11, 11, 11, 11.
Mixing up the middle.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 83 yards rushing here for Mixon. He's got a first down.
12, 12, 12.
They go play action with Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11 MT. 11 MT. Stop.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
Again, that's Hurst.
Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside. They give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards. And boy, did he come through, pulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Thank you. Let's go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
No, read.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2nd and 11.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
11. Gotta go.
Once again, they run with Mixon. Powers through it. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines.
Here we go.
And let's close this one out.
Thomas.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
11 mighty. Stop.
Mixon, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that
pumped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. And this is going to be a Titans first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Henry running right. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 3rd down, Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run. It's Henry. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here we go. Here we go.
And they will take a knee here.
On 1, ready?
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. On one side is Charles, an impressive victory.